Hey, it's Aaron, the Metal Theologian. Alright, so the topic today is we're going to talk about some of these stacks of records here, like what's in different places. Because I've been asked this, and every so often I'll make references to like, oh, this is in the stack of stuff that I'm saving for later, and that sort of thing. And that's kind of the principal one I want to talk about, because I'm kind of curious if anyone else has one of these too. But, yeah, and then we'll talk about a few records too. So, like, right now we're listening to this Full Moon record, which I've been really into lately, man. It's funny, usually it's sort of like with everything else. When I listen to metal, I sort of hone in on one kind of style of metal, but lately I've been listening to stuff like this, and then like, shit, where is it? Oh yeah, there it is. So this is one of those sort of, questionable provenance. This is pretty much a boot, but this Monstrosity record is really good. But this one's gotten a little bit of play here, I mean, even I've been listening to a lot of stuff like this too. But there are certain things that come in, okay? Like you have an opportunity to grab something, or you see something you're not going to see again anytime soon, and you sort of put them aside for later when you're going to be in the right mood for, right? And that's what that stack is over there. So like, there are a few different styles here that we'll talk about. And they're all styles of music that I like and have been into like not very long ago, but like right now isn't the time, you know what I mean? It's like Louis Golden, who y'all ought to check out. If you haven't heard his record, it's really fucking good, like no shit. But he was kind enough to send me a few records. And like this one's sealed, man. Yeah, Memphis style, please. Like, I'm really confident that this is going to be good, I mean, look at it. And Heavy Psych, not a lot of misses on that label, you know what I mean? There are some things that I like more than others of the Heavy Psych catalog, but I don't think there's anything that I've heard where I've been like, this is just fucking crap, man, So yeah, this is going to fucking rule. But like, I'm not in that headspace right now, you know what I'm saying? And so I kind of want to wait until I'm ready to receive it before I put it on. I don't want it to become something that I put on and like it doesn't really penetrate, This one too, I know Cosmic Reaper is good. I actually have a copy of a different record of theirs. And these guys are really good. But they're sort of on the extra doomy side too. I mean, they have a little bit to live up to there. They're kind of more like metal-ish than a lot of these sorts of bands, but great band though. And then this one actually too, which is another one I kind of want to reevaluate. I was kind of prejudiced against these guys for a long time, just that their name was stupid. But also, in fairness to me, like I wasn't all that into this kind of music. I wasn't really ready to receive it, like I was just talking about. The difference is I've kind of cultivated an appreciation for some of the stuff, and I still don't really like some of the big bands. Like, man, I think Mastodon is fucking bullshit. I said this before, something about Mastodon? There are people who have good taste in music who like Mastodon, but everyone who has bad taste in music, or at least metal, they all love Mastodon. Do you notice that? Anyway, some really good friends of mine like Mastodon, and at least some of them also have really good taste, so. Anyway. High on Fire kind of ended up in that category to a certain degree in my head. You know what I mean? And it's sort of been, there's been more sort of a divide created over time, you know what I mean? In my mind, I've been sort of more willing to sort of check them out. And now I'm at the point where it's just like, fucking it's stupid to not give them a chance just because of the name. I'm going to give it a listen, it's probably good. So anyway, that's like kind of a big thing, like reassessing something, like preparing to reassess a band. So I don't want to waste it on like when I'm not in the right headspace for that kind of music, Yeah, I'll go to these next because these are the funny ones. This shit kind of moved around a little bit, but like maybe a month ago, for like a week, I was listening to a lot of hippie shit. So I was at the store like a couple days later, and I was like, they had the first couple Crosby, Stills, Nash records. Or this one and this one, and they were both relatively cheap. You know what I mean? It's not like I was paying $30 for these things, or 20. Anyway, I was like, oh, I've just been listening to a bunch of that shit. This is like the perfect time to get something like that because they're one of the bands. When I got really into hippie shit in like 2018 and something, it's funny to be like say that and have there be video documentation of like the time that it was happening, you know. Anyway, when I didn't really like hippie shit at all until like 2018, and I got really into it. But I sort of the kick sort of ran its course before I really got around to Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young, or Crosby, Stills and Nash, either version. You know what I mean? So I saw this, and I was like, oh, fuck, that's like a big one that I've sort of been like waiting for the right time to listen to, but then it turned out to not be the right time. So it's sort of the funny one because the way I had these things sitting over here on the side, like waiting for me, I would deliberately set up so that the records from Louis are touching the Crosby, Stills, and Nash records. So this record's in that stack. It's funny because I actually listened to this one, and this isn't like the hippie shit, even though it's, you know, a legacy band. That's such a fucking funny euphemism, isn't it? A legacy band. Anyway, I already kind of consider myself to be a convert on the mid-70s, like basically up till about The Wall, that era of Pink Floyd. And it's very new to me. And I listened to this like once or twice, and I was like, man, that's really pretty good. But then I've kind of wanted to hear jazz, and I want to hear metal. So this has gone back into that stack. I've already kind of formed an opinion on it, but I want to listen to it a few more times before I put it away, right? Yeah, I was just making sure that the Crosby, Stills, and Nash record was still next to the Louis records. All right, yeah, the other one is rap, and it's funny because some of these are just things that I sent away for, like before the kick sort of came off. And this is a big one, actually. I'm really looking forward to listening to this record, but this is Open Mike Eagle, and he actually has a channel on YouTube, man, and I really enjoy his videos, but especially his ones talking about, like, sort of in response to that. I don't remember what fucking magazine it was. Some magazine did like 100 greatest rap records of all time. And some of the choices were kind of mystifying and shit. Like, even with my level of knowledge, I was like, why would you go for this and not this? That sort of thing. But he like really knows the shit and like does his whole list. So anyway, his records are really good too. Which is cool because it sucks when someone's good at one thing and not the other, you know what I'm saying? Anyway, Open Mike Eagle, I'm really looking forward to checking this out, but I'm waiting for the right time, you know what I mean? Because I want to make sure that record gets its due. I respect it, you know? You know, this one actually came off one of his lists. This fucking Bus Driver record. I just came across a copy of Cheap, so I jumped on it. And that's just, again, waiting for the right time. But, you know, I sampled through this when I started looking for this thing, and I was like, wow, man, that's some really interesting shit. So, there we go. Then there's this Nacho Picasso record, and I was like fucking high on Nacho Picasso when this reissue came out. But I ordered it in conjunction with this one, which is another Nacho Picasso. This one with Televangel, the other one's with Blue Sky Black Death. Did I get that right? Yeah. I want to turn those words around in my head, you know? Anyway, this record's beautiful. It was a fucking... It took a long time for this to get here because they had problems with the plant and shit, and like... I kind of feel for them because I'm sure they're inundated with people who are pissed off. You know, where the fuck is my record? It's been 6 months, you know? So anyway, it's a fantastic record, and it just looks so cool. But it's going to stay here until I'm ready to start taking in some hip-hop, like, and not be thinking, I really want to listen to something else. Yeah. It's funny, going through this exercise, I'm sort of talking myself into wanting to hear some of, like, each of these. Like when I was talking about the Animals, I was saying, yeah, this is a really good record, and I was thinking, yeah, it is really good. So, anyway, then a couple of Memphis ones too, because these Memphis ones don't seem to turn up very much at all. So I sort of try and grab them when I see them. And this is a DJ Zerk, and like I guess a bunch of rappers. And I don't know, I was a little bit underwhelmed by the DJ Zerk record that I had too, so I want to give him another chance because I figure it's probably me, you know. Yeah, and then this one just looks so fucking seedy. This is another Memphis one. Looks so rough and hardcore. But I'll bet this is great. Like, that really looks like it's gonna be good. So yeah, I don't know. I'm really curious if anyone else has like a stack of stuff like designated as stuff to listen to when the mood changes. You know what I mean? Yeah, other than that, I kind of have a stack of records that I haven't talked about in a video yet. And then I'll have a stack where I have already talked about them. Because usually after a video, I'll put away like, you know, half or a third of them. And the other one they'll still listen to for a couple days, you know? So yeah, when I'm like doing this right, I keep a stack where like, you know, the shit I've listened to is in one and the other, and the stuff I haven't yet isn't. But I'm rarely that organized. I've actually been spending a little bit of time with this guy. Because Sepultura is one of those bands that, you know, as huge as they are, I mean, the fact is they were just a little bit late for me. Like, by the time they were really getting big, I was like, deep in punk for a couple of years, not really listening to any metal at all. And when did this one come out? I want to say like 89 or something like that. But, yeah, anyway. I'm starting to get there with it, I think. Like, I can say, yeah, this song and this song, these are my favorite songs. It doesn't just seem like sort of a bland, sort of samey, which is kind of how I felt about them for a long time, if I'm honest. Not so much this one, ironically, as the first couple. Like, I mean, it took me a couple listens to get into, like, Morbid Visions and, like, the EP. But once I got into those, I was like, oh, yeah, I'm on board with this shit, you know what I mean? This one sounded, because this was a little bit more, like, sort of thrash metal and less, like, sort of just batshit black metal. Well, I don't know, man. I never really loved Schizophrenia as much as I wanted to either. So I don't know, man. Maybe it was just that first order, the first LP and the split before that. In any case, it's a band I respect. It's a band I know a lot of people really love, and I want to give them their due. You know what I mean? So that's like been my little project as far as like shit listening to. And then this one, I actually pulled this out because someone was talking about it in a video on the Shredbeard channel. The guy like picked this up while he was in Texas, and this is a really fucking good record. It's probably gonna go on next. Yeah, here's another sort of obvious one that I pulled out. I actually hadn't listened to this one in kind of a while. You know, it's funny, back at the time when Kiska joined the band, right when Keeper of the Seven Keys Part 1 came out, it was sort of like, oh god, this singer's like a big step above and beyond what Kai Hansen was doing on the earlier stuff, you know? But listening to this stuff now, I mean, he sounds pretty good to me, man. I mean, they definitely sound different, you know what I mean? But it's almost like a Paul Di'Anno, Bruce Dickinson thing, you know what I mean? Except he isn't quite all the way on the Paul Di'Anno side. He's sort of like halfway between Di'Anno and Dickinson, if that makes sense. And then Kiska is all Dickinson, you know what I mean? So, man, I still love how the fucking... This record cover is just fantastic anyway, right? But the body proportions are the thing that, like, puts it over the top in both cases. I mean, this is awesome, right? But the fact that his arm is so short really kind of puts it over the top as far as the quality goes, you know? And then this fucking back picture, same deal, you know? It's already pretty fucking funny, right? But the fact that his head's kind of too small, that just puts it over the top once again, you know what I mean? So, impeccable cover art. I just thought to give this record a chance since it doesn't have such a great reputation, you know? Again, came across it cheap, and it's the Verge with the blood on the teeth too, you know? So, you go, what the hell, it didn't really cost anything. So, it's about as good as I expected, which is, you know, it's perfectly fine, but, you know, like, they're better than Lech and Gray, but they're not as good as, like, Madison. Okay. I'll be curious what percentage of the audience knows those, but Madison's great though. Actually, it's a Swedish band that's kind of glammy, but you know, again, there's you know, some genuine hard rock in there, so it's not like, oh, it's just fucking syrup. It's like, there's a fucking banger. That's kind of corny, but what the hell, you only live once. Where the fuck? Oh, there it is. All right. fucking Shock Tilt record I pulled out too, man. This is so good. I think these guys are from Finland. And they're real just kind of dumbass, like, you know, sort of foot stomping metal record, but it's fantastic, man. That's funny because this is the kind of shit. I had a friend who, maybe not past tense. We haven't talked in a while, but I still consider him a friend. Yeah, when I for like when I would listen to like the first Kiss record, like he was around when I got really excited about like the first Kiss record and like Slade and shit like that. And it got to the point where he called that shit Aaron music, and this is kind of Aaron music from that standpoint. You know, kind of stupid and you know. Shit. I'll fuck with this later. All right. So other than that, yeah, I've been kind of listening to a certain amount of old jazz lately. So there's some of that here. Like I've been playing this record a lot actually, like during the day. I've been really into these sort of I don't know, I guess late bebop, early hard bop era. I don't really know exactly how the shit shakes out because the way this stuff sounds doesn't quite fall into the category for me in my head, but I think it's just my ignorance talking. But a couple Clifford Brown records, I picked up a while ago and didn't play a whole lot. I've been getting a lot of mileage out of them now, you know. This Brothers record I've been playing a lot too, actually. It came from a viewer. Appreciate it. But yeah, well, in case you haven't seen all my other ones, I've shown this a few times lately, but maybe this is the first time you're watching it, so hello. This is the brothers, just saxophone players who came out of, it was someone's band, I don't even remember, with the Five Brothers. Whatever, I'm just, I don't want to sit here and like read this shit to figure out the answer. They were in some big band together, basically. It's like Zoot Sims and Stan Getz and Al Cohn and Brew Moore, who are basically all in one other guy who I don't know. I mean, I've heard the record, but I don't know anything about him. It's four guys who I kind of all wrote off as corny when I first started listening to jazz. I absolutely know it. I love it now, though. And it scratches a certain itch, you know? Like, I listened to a lot of free jazz a couple weeks ago and shit, and that's like one thing, but this is just sort of... Oh, I don't know. Got a few of those, though. A couple more. It's Jerry Mulligan. Gigi Grice, I think his name is. Not quite sure about the pronunciation on that one. Yeah, and then there are the things behind it. Ones that I've pulled out over the last couple of weeks and have either, played a certain amount or not. Yeah, here's an or not. Like 2 videos ago, I said I was going to listen to this one again. It's still hanging out waiting for me to listen to it, so it goes to the hanging out stack. I know I talked about this one, too. But it's another one I want to play a couple more times before I put it away, you know? This one I took it out because it was the first record to come up on like the Strange Records stream a couple of weeks ago on a Heavy Metallurgy when Dan Edmond from the Colosseum was on. This is his first pick for an unusual record, so I was like, okay, I haven't listened to that forever. I played it like twice, but I'm going to listen to it some more before I put it away. This guy's still in here, although I'm probably ready to put this one away. I'll leave it out front. Yeah, and these Megadeth records, man. Like, this is sort of my go-to. But I only listen to Rust in Peace like once. It's funny, like this is one of those bands where the one really is kind of my record that I associate with them. So it's kind of hard for me to put any other ones on an equal level. But I pull this one out too. Chromie D's favorite record of all time. Yeah, a couple of hits like that. I mean, shit. This is sitting here too. Look at that. I don't like a lot of people. I still think Run to the Hills is just fine. There's like for a while it seemed corny to me, like for maybe like for the time I was like in my late teens till I was like in my late 30s, and now it's just like it's totally fine all the time, you know. I don't know, man. I think a lot of things boil down to the fact that you sort of stop giving a shit about certain things when you get to a certain age. And I'm here for it, man. Yeah, so that's kind of it. I mean, there are the records here that I could show, but as far as the organization, it's like there are basically a few that I've listened to. There's some that I just pulled out. There are a few of those here. I'll talk about as we go through. But then there are a few that I've listened to a couple times and shown in a video, and I'm ready to put them away, but I'm not done with them yet. It's a weird way of saying it. It makes it sound like the point of it is to make a video about it. But it's really kind of the opposite. Like, I listen to the records anyway, and then when I need something to talk about in the video, the records serve that purpose, so. Otherwise, if you had to wait for me to come up with some philosophical topic to talk about, I'd only upload like once a year. Which I guess works for like H Bomber guy and shit like that. His videos are really good, you know? Yeah, here's another one. Okay, we were talking about, you know, unique records a while ago. This is one of the ones I pulled up to talk about. Although for some reason I thought they were from Italy on the spot. I was kind of embarrassed by that after the fact, if I'm honest. Because, yeah, they're from Houston. But anyway, it's a great record, man. It's a weird record. It took me a couple listens to get my head around it. But if you're willing to give 3 listens to something that's going to sound really unique, and like you'll be like, yeah, that's really one of a kind, that record. Even if you end up not liking it after that, give Ripper 3 listens. And The Dead Shall Rise. And don't make them be a year apart the way I did. Do it like in a week. You know, here's another record I really love a lot. I might have shown this last time. But this Bruce Hawk, The Electric Lucifer, absolutely fantastic record, man. It's like super corny pop in its heart. But it's like all electronic shit. It's like just a Moog, I think, too. Yeah, there are a few different people singing, but like all the music is just on the fucking synthesizer. And it's like, yeah, 1970 it says on here. It's funny. Here's how much I love this record. I had a copy of this that I bought like 20 years ago. And I wanted to hear this record about a month ago, and I couldn't find the fucking record. And I looked everywhere I thought it could be, and I couldn't find the fucking record. So a bunch of places where I thought there was no chance it would be. And I'm like, maybe I gave it away or something, or like, you know, in one of the moves it got lost somehow, I don't know. Anyway, it bothered me enough that I fucking forked it over for another copy. So that's how much I love this record. Actually, I'll bet Vinyl Richie would appreciate this record if he's watching. So, because he wouldn't be put off by the pop, because there's totally like a really corny pop aspect. But the fucking backing tracks are so weird, they're just like coming along with the pop songs, you know. Great record. Yeah, a couple other metal ones here I've been listening to. Didn't quite get enough Halloween after listening to Walls of Jericho. There's a classic, like, sampler. It's one of the early, I think it's the second noise sampler that came out, in case you're not familiar with it. And it has Running Wild, Hellhammer, Dark Avenger, and Halloween on it. So, as far as I know, this is all Dark Avenger ever did, but all the other bands on here became big, and in different ways, no less. You know, it's kind of interesting that would happen. Especially because none of it, except maybe Hellhammer, is really, well, none of it's anything like what death metal means today, you know what I mean? This record's like 84, I want to say. Yeah, it's really a classic. If you're interested, if you have the slightest interest in comps, this is an essential one. And it's exclusive cuts, too. I mean, the Hellhammer shit's been reissued 100 times now by, like, Nuclear War Now and labels like that. So that's probably the easiest shit to get. But the Running Wild and Halloween tracks were only on this one. There's a re-recorded version of one of the 2 songs, spacing, Metal Invaders on Walls of Jericho. But the other one, Ernst of Life, or whatever it's supposed to be called. Let me show that so you can see that spelling. It's hilarious. I don't know what that's supposed to mean. But that's not on anything else, and it's actually a good song. It's not like some like joke throwaway or something like that. Pull out this one too as a little salute to Marty, because Doomsday News is kind of one of his favorite records. Wasn't what I wanted to hear though when I listened to this thing. You know, I thought, well, right after that death metal sampler, this is gonna like slide right in there and sound fantastic, and it all kind of just blurred together, which means it wasn't really grabbing me, you know. So I mean, and this record is great. Like, the reason I'm putting it on me here is because it's like Scanner, Rage, Death Row, Coroner, Tankard. I mean, that's like a who's who of mostly German metal. Sabbath, Halloween, Vendetta, Celtic Frost, Creator, and Voivod. So one band from North America. And not a part where they speak English. So anyway, yeah, fantastic fucking record. But it wasn't what I wanted to hear the other night. This is fucking fantastic. The Shock Tilt record. Like, it's so dumb, and it's just perfect. Yeah. I think I played a little Slayer once and got an ad, so I'm actually going to leave this in here. If y'all are really fiending for it, I can throw it on the background of the video. But if you want to hear this shit, listen to it on YouTube from someone who, like, records it properly, you know? Yeah, so here are a couple others I just pulled out to listen to again. Actually, I played this one kind of a lot. This Old Iron one. This is a great Italian one. It's kind of it's a weird one, but mostly just because I don't know. There's something so underground about this band. I mean, it lives up to that cover. Okay, but yeah. It's an Italian band, Old Iron with a Y. And yeah. I don't think I talked about this one though. These guys are from Iceland. Maybe I'll throw this on for a minute. They're not that heavy. I mean, they're not really all that fantastic either, but you know, they're amusing. It's good to be easily amused, right? Man, these long stretches of silence. The one thing about when I go quiet on video like that is, you know, I'm not bullshitting you. Yeah, through Muvagen. Check out those titles in Icelandic. Started on the side too, just because that's what well, my hands queued up all by themselves. I'm gonna let this run for a couple minutes and call it good. Hey, here's the sort of thing that happens when I'm pulling records. So like, I was over in the T section, like the sort of the S's and the T's. So when I pull out the Shock Tilt, right? And like this Sugar one, which is a pretty good rocker. It doesn't look all that great, and it's not like a blow your hair back kind of record, but it's a solid rock and roll record. You know, same thing with this one. This one used to be too synthy for my taste, but I'm totally fine with it now. So, and they actually do a pretty good job on the Zeppelin cover they do on here. Yeah, they do a whole lot of love. There's not fucking synth in there. Like, it's pretty rockin', and then it kind of backs off a little bit. But then it kind of commits again, you know? That's kind of representative of this whole record, actually, this song. Anyway, more from the T's. This is a great one. I haven't talked about it in a long time, I don't think. But these guys are actually from Seattle. And, you know, the main thing is these guys had really good songs. I had a woman singer, but she's really fucking gruff, man. Like, don't let that scare you away if, like, that's a problem for you, you know? Yeah, like a really raspy voice and shit. Probably my favorite song is Ouija, which is the last song on here. Like, it all kind of builds up to that. But this is great. Even a song title like Metal Taco doesn't bring it down. So there we go. Taste of Iron, spelled wrong. Resurrection, which as far as I know is their only record. Yeah. Well, this is, I'm listening to sort of wimpier stuff. Thought this Tension one might hit the spot, because this one isn't very heavy either. It's 1980, but it's really kind of more of a prog record. Yeah, and that's about it. So thanks for watching. I just thought of another one that I want to pull out, actually. I'm going to pull up the Steel Moon record list, because I'll listen to that again, too. Either tonight or tomorrow. We'll see how things shake out. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.